don't know if I stopped again. Crap. Hope you're not getting this in 3 different versions. I suspect you are, though. What you see in an electric panel, until you look at it through a thermal imaging camera. Thermal imaging camera detects, differentiates between temperatures. There's what you see with the naked eye. That's what you see with a thermal imaging camera. It's a dangerously overloaded circuit. It needs to be certainly looked at by an electrician and probably repaired. And I believe we're the only ones in Kansas City, to the best of my knowledge, that offer thermal imaging free of charge. Most companies charge between $125 to $150. We just do it at 0 cost, just included in that $299 inspection price. Oop. Sorry about that. Okay, let's talk about foundation cracks. There's 3 different types of cracks, and there's 3 different reasons walls crack. The vertical crack. Concrete is wet when it's poured. As it cracks, and as it cures, it cracks. They typically are vertical. When you have a diagonal crack, that means there's stress from either the top or the bottom, but it really doesn't become an issue until you can, what they call, wiggle a nickel. If you can stick a nickel inside that crack and wiggle it a little bit, it's at least time to seal it, or maybe call in an engineer to take a look at it. On the right hand side, worst crack you can have, it's a horizontal crack, and what that boils down to is there's hydrostatic pressure, which is mud and water on the outside of the wall, is pushing against that 8 inches of concrete, and it is stronger than the concrete, and boom, it starts to bow the concrete. Can you fix them? Sure you can, just by putting in braces. What's the most important question to ask when you have braces in a house you're looking at? Is there a transferable warranty? Reputable companies will warranty their work for about 25 years. Make sure, and they're almost always transferable. Ask that question. You have braces, you're in good shape. Does it have a transferable warranty? Cool word for the day, hydrostatic pressure. All right, your buyer walks into a house and they see this one wall and they say, boy, I wish I'd like to make this room bigger. I wonder if I can blow out that wall. I wonder if that's a load-bearing wall. Here's a key. Load-bearing walls always run parallel to the roof lines and the beams. This will astound people, James, Kevin. They will love to hear this. Looking at a roof line, if you walk into a house and you see a roof line going from left to right, the load-bearing walls in that house go from left to right. Same thing with the beams in the basement. Now let's talk about radon. Frequently asked questions. What is radon? Where does it come from? Radon is a gas. Now most of them will say, you know, radon comes from the ground. Well, that's true, but it's a gas. Where does it come from? Little known scientific fact, all gas comes from a central source, and we had some fun with that, especially after the election last night. Just kidding. It comes from uranium. Should I test for it? Now, you know, there will be some people in the crowd, James, Kevin, that say, you know what, that's just a racket, it's a manufactured disease so that people can get wealthy, you know, building mitigation systems, blah, blah, blah. Well, did you know, make this statement real succinct, did you know that more people die from radon-related cancer than drunk driving? And as soon as you say that, people will just say, oh my gosh, they don't know it, they don't realize it, but that is a very, well, that's an EPA spreadsheet that slide that I have there. And so now if someone is going to question it, they'll say, well, how do they know they died of radon-related cancer? So tell them this. If someone dies from lung cancer and they were non-smoker and not around secondary smoke, they'll do an autopsy on them. And once they do the autopsy, radon destroys the DNA in a very specific way. And once they identify that type of damage to the DNA, they chalk it up as radon poisoning. 21,000 people died last year as a result of it. Now there's an EPA map of the radon zones in the United States. Now I'm showing Kansas here. You want to capitalize on St. Louis. It's not as bad, but you can say, well, in Kansas City, 50% of the houses have high levels of radon. It could be like 30% or 25%. You can do some research on that, you know, in St. Louis. So what do? They install a radon mitigation system, which is really very simple. It's a PVC pipe driven through the foundation. You put a fan at the top and turn the fan on. It creates a vacuum under the foundation. It captures the radon, sends it out to the top of the house, and vents it into the atmosphere. And it works very well. In Kansas City, the cost is about $700, $800. A lot of good companies who do that. Now, what they'll do for you is that they will install these two items right here. Anybody knows what these are? And some people will know. You call them, they're radon vacuum monitors. On the left-hand side, if that liquid, the blue liquid, is in an uneven level, then it means the fan is on. There's a vacuum in your house. If it goes to zeros, like on the right-hand side, and the liquid is even, then the fan has stopped. And really all you have to do is replace the fan. Now, okay, we're not going to do electromagnetic fields because I found out that took too long. Gosh, I'm at the end of the presentation. Okay, just a recap. All we've done here in the last 45 minutes is to equip you with some of the language of how to answer difficult questions with confidence. And we think that's one of the most important things in building credibility with your buyers, is answering difficult questions with confidence. Then you say good luck to all members of wherever you're at, and thank you for allowing me to be a small part of your success. And boom, you will get an ovation.